Whew. All right, guys. All right. I got to do better. I've got to do better about checking to make sure that my stream is actually going live and I'm not just talking to myself and not actually streaming. So I said I only had about 10 minutes to do the video, do the stream. Now I don't. Now I effectively have about 2 minutes to do it. So I won't be able to get everything accomplished that I want to. However, today is March 20th, 2024. My name is Eric, and I like to program. I actually also like stocks. I like the market a lot. I like coding. If I'm talking too fast for you, then you probably need to just slow this thing down. And then just right now, I got to get this out, and then because I haven't done a video in a while. But like I was saying before, I understand why people who program and who come up with algorithms and scripts and that kind of thing for trading and to make money in the markets, why they don't give out this stuff for free. When I was doing my initial programming and learning how to just make scripts, make show me's, plot stuff on charts and that kind of thing, when I was learning how to do that initially, it was fun. It was easy. There was a learning curve. It was hard, but it was easy. There was a learning curve. It was fun. I could get something accomplished in a little bit of time, but it took some, I really had to kind of tweak it and learn it. Now what I'm doing is a lot more complicated, and it takes me a lot longer to come up with it. So you don't want to sit here for 5 hours while I figure out one little thing. Like the other night, yesterday, I spent all day trying to figure out a piece to a script, and it turns out it was just that I was using an array. I needed to use a vector. So I ended up using the vector, realized I needed to do it as intrabar persist, change it to intrabar persist. The vector, I realized that I was storing everything to the vector from 0 up, but then I was only looking at the data from index 1 up. I needed to look at everything in the vector from index 0 to the total count of the vector. So it took me all day. Finally at nighttime, again, one of those things at nighttime where you kind of take a step back, you think about it, you come back to it, you're able to, kind of solidify some ideas. I was able to come up with the answer, the solution for solving the problem. What I came up with today on the micros was, and you've seen me make this chart here before. This is what I do with the Excel spreadsheet. So it pulls up all the data for a specific condition that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a specific condition. I'm looking for a swing low and then a nice move up. I'm putting that condition in the computer, and I'm saying, hey, what's happening just before this condition is met? What is the environment like just before this condition is met? Is the volume low? Is the regression line descending? Is the slope of the 200 or 9-period moving average descending? What's going on? So all this is what's going on. A lot of data, but you take that data, you compute it, you do some averages, some standard deviations. You do whatever you want to do with it. I did what I wanted to do with it. This is the curve that I had come up with. As far as it went back, I think 200 days or so. So if you were to use the micros of ES, right, and trade it from August 30th up to March 19th, this is the kind of curve that you get. So this is what I came up with today, and let's see, what's the win rate? The win rate is 52% win rate, which is actually pretty darn good. The profit factor is select profit factor is almost 1 to 2. Just profit factor is 3. And this is actually one of the scripts that I think maybe my first script that I've done in a walk forward analysis that it was actually able to have a pass rate on everything. So let me see if I can pull that up. Strategy performance. This is, and so like I said, right now I'm really organized with everything. So I've got my performance summary, the settings that it was on, whatever the settings was. I have my commission charge, my slippage amount. This is what the walk forward analysis said. Overall, with multiple runs, in sample, out of sample, this is analysis, and this is what I like to see right here, because this is, like I said, I think this is the first time out of any of my scripts that I got passes on everything. So this was 15% out of sample and with 10 runs. So this was pretty good. I'm I'm proud of this accomplishment. So I'm actually going to start trading this live on my account with an automation. So one of the things I had to do in order to get ready for that is I had to go and I take this strategy, and I needed to do make some other changes to it so that I can make sure that because this looks way different from the strategies that I put up before, that I've done with you before, because you actually want to put this on a live account. And if you're using margin or anything like that, then if you drop below margin, your account will get liquidated. They'll charge you a liquidation service fee, $75. That doesn't make sense when you're trading micro ES, where you're only getting $5 a point. So I needed to pull up the accounts provider. In order to do that, you need to use tsdata.trading, open the accounts provider, and then load that. And then I don't think I need this load provider, but anyway, so I'm just checking to make sure that I do have the account number 2 or index of 2, which is actually the third account, and it's what I use as my alias. It's called Algo Futures. As long as that account's pulled up, and I do have on there live that I want to put it as true for my inputs, and that my purchasing power is above the initial margin amount, right? Because you need to have if your account is below the initial margin amount, you're going to try to take it. Your algorithm is going to try to take a trade and won't let you take a trade. It'll just say that you don't have sufficient funds. However, when you do get into position, now if you start taking L's, all right, you exit that position. Now you get into another position, you start taking L, you get out of that position. Now you get into one more position, you start taking L's, and now your account starts to drop below that maintenance margin level. Then they'll auto liquidate you and they'll charge you $75. So you don't want them to do that. So I had to go in here and I made an extra line that said that if my account equity falls below the account minimum that I set, then it'll just go ahead and hit a stop loss of 0, which would pretty much just say that you don't want to take any loss. And so it'll take you out immediately, right? So you got to do those things to kind of protect your hind parts, if you will. So that's the strategy that I created today. And I haven't really talked to you guys much since I've been working on I've been able to work on the strategies and stuff, because here you remember for the longest time, we always talk about how I find this good information here, for the time and sales data, the orders I actually put in, the spread, the amount, the difference between the bid and the ask, the inside bid and the ask, the spread on the chart, the bid and ask on the chart. All this data here is non-historical data. So it means that once you turn the chart on, like I turn it on here at 7 o'clock to get on with you guys, once you turn it on, it starts showing that data. It doesn't record that data. If you want to record that data, you need to use StreamWriter or StreamReader. And so last week I was working with that a lot. And I love how well that works. I need to do more with it. Unfortunately, once you kind of work with it, you just kind of copy and paste and you move forward. So I don't really need to keep reinventing the wheel, but I do want to make sure that I still got that solidified in my mind, because this has been super important for me. So now when I go back throughout the day, like I was on the charts earlier this morning at 6 o'clock or so, if you go all the way back, you'll see, hang on, 2 seconds. Okay, all right. I know it's a lot of you out there that are husbands, and you'll never get it all right. You'll never get it all right. All right. What? It's right out there at the front door. All right, so that's my daughter in here now. So all right, so everybody's come back home. So it's go time now. All right, I told you I only had about 2 minutes. All right, so, but if you look back here earlier this morning, 6 or 7, 8 o'clock or so, you can see here where I've got data pulled up because it was pulled into my stream, right? my stream reader pulled it in. So I've got all this data that I can go back and look at and try to make heads or tails of why the market moved when it moved. What happened here? This is 9:30. Okay, so this is opening bell. All right. Here, obviously, you see that we have here that the ask got way higher than it was since pre-market, right? And then what happened? Because no other ask on the bid and the ask, no other ask was this high. When it got this high, that was at the point to where it decided to what? Pull back, right? That was not their highest high, right? It made one more high, one or two ticks above that high, and then it pulled back. Okay, so again, I'm not saying you're always going to be able to figure something out with this information, but what I'm saying is that there's something here, right? Look, we got this high ask right here, and the funny thing about it, bless you, baby. Funny thing about it is you don't always see the same thing. So I do have to study this, but now I have the information that I can study it. All right, so we have these high asks here. It was obviously this candle here. All right, and so once we got here, it was consistently moving up, right? It's consistently moving up. All right, and then from here, we had a nice little pullback. I mean, it wasn't done, but this was also roughly the level that it tapped another 2 times, and it had to tap it, had to keep tapping it prior to being able to push through it. You know, so I don't know. If you see this here, do you say, okay, well, we can treat this as a supply demand zone, trade that a few times before it moves through? I don't know how you trade it, but like I said, I at least have the option to learn it now instead of only basing my decisions on you know, pure candles, pure high open, low close. Okay, all right, I know you guys aren't interested in this stuff. If you are, drop a comment or let me know that you want to hear this stuff. If not, then I'm gonna keep cutting this thing short here about 5 or 10 minutes. All right, but I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.